Cohousing. And my husband and I actually just moved to Richmond in February and then joined Richmond Cohousing in April. So we're still pretty new to the city, but really have started to fall in love with it. And so I'm curious, little audience participation here, how many of you live in Richmond right now? Okay, and then keep your hands up if you can tell me something that you really enjoy about Richmond. What makes you want to live here?
Folk Festival.
Folk Festival. Anyone else? How about two more things?
James River.
James River. Anyone? One more?
Virginia Museum of Fine Arts.
Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. So all very good things. I've really enjoyed the food, culture since I've moved here, and I also find Richmond to be a much lower cost of living than some of the other places I've lived in. Am I hitting that? Okay. So Richmond Cohousing, we really want to be an urban community and take advantage of all these amenities that Richmond has to offer. We haven't purchased land yet, but we imagine purchasing about 2 to 3 acres of land within 5 miles of downtown. And if you want to visualize what that 5 miles means, we actually have maps on the back table there that kind of shows you where that could be. And we want to have about 20 to 30 households in the built community. We want to be a multi-generational, pedestrian-friendly neighborhood. We want to be able to walk and bike to a lot of these amenities. And we want people at all stages of life in our community. So right now, we have singles, couples, those with young families, those looking to age in place, and really want to welcome a diverse type of person into this community. We plan to have affordable and energy-efficient homes. So we believe it'll be 1 to 3 bedroom homes in a mix of different styles, so townhomes, duplexes, or apartment styles. This will all kind of depend on the land that we end up buying. Most likely 800 to 1,600 square feet in a price range of $150,000 to $350,000. We've talked about the opportunity of having rental units or even low-income housing incorporated within that. That's all stuff we've talked about, but haven't made any decisions about. So if you have a firm belief in something, it's a great time to join, because we're starting to make those decisions now. And like other groups have talked about, a welcoming common house, and then the shared outdoor space with gardens and a playground. I think you'll hear a lot of our members say exactly what Lisa said, is we want the kids to be able to run outdoors, play with their friends in a very safe and welcoming environment. So there's one map, but more maps on the back. And so where we are now, we have a committed base of 13 member households, 9 full member households, and 4 provisional, which I'll tell you a little bit more in a bit. We're really committed to having children and young families in our community, and so we can offer childcare at any of our events because we want people to be able to come, even if they'll have the kids with them that day. We're working with Lisa to hopefully have a very smart and systematic approach to building our development. And part of that, we're going to do a joint partnership, is what we're planning with the developer. We want to have some say and control on what this would look like, what our site design will be, but we want to work with someone who has the knowledge to help us with working with the city and getting over zoning regulations and has that experience of building a community like this. We have an anticipated move-in of 2017, which is quick. But our current members are really committed to making this happen. We have 4 committees that meet almost weekly on the phone, and then we have bi-monthly business meetings. So it is requiring a lot of time and energy right now, but we're hoping that'll help us get there sooner. So we think it's worth it. And we're looking for more households right now. So we have 3 membership levels, kind of depending on where people are feeling in the process, from friends who maybe are just finding out about Richmond Cohousing and want to see if this is something they might be interested in. It's kind of where they turn over then to provisional members. That's when they're starting to see if this is a good fit for them. And then you kind of bump over into full. I think other people call them equity members, so people that are committed to purchasing a home in the built community. And we have a lot of different ways to get involved, and you guys are in Richmond, so hopefully it's pretty easy to get there. We have plenary meetings or our business meetings, which happen twice a month, and that's a great way to see how we make decisions and how we work together as a group. We have learning circles where we try to kind of pull away from the nuts and bolts of our community and start looking at how do we make decisions with consensus, or how do we build communities. And the next one for us is actually next weekend. We're looking at how do we finance a co-housing development, which will be a little a little interesting, I think, for all of us. And then we have a lot of socials and outreach events. We really enjoy spending time together. We actually, I think a couple weeks ago, we had an outreach potluck, and we had, I think, like 7 members there, and then like 2 new people, which was kind of funny, but I think it showed that we really enjoy spending time together, even if we don't have to be. And on that, I would really invite you to come to our next potluck on November 8th. It'll be a great chance to meet the members informally, and maybe if you've had some questions or thoughts since today, it'll be a great chance to answer them in a smaller group. And, oh, one last thing. And then, so this is all of our contact information. We have a postcard on our table, so you don't have to write this down. I would just say, though, the website has everything, hopefully, but then our meetup page has all of our events. So if you're trying to plan out the next couple of months, I'd invite you to take a look so you can kind of see when we're having events, so you can plan ahead. So that's all 5 groups. Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad you did. I think now we'd like to move into a short Q&A.
I just found out we have half an hour in the space that sort of.
We have an hour.